What's up, guys? Today I'm going to be going over fights to make after UFC 320, but the main point of this video is Alex Pereira versus the heavyweight champion. And I put heavyweight champion because Tom is scheduled to fight Gane. That is the next pay-per-view. I don't think he's going to lose, but you never know. Anything can happen. And I think if Gane wins the belt, I still want to see Pereira move up. So, the main reason I want this fight is because, aside from Carlos Ulberg, Alex Pereira has beat literally everyone in the division that's in title contention right now. I mean, Carlos Ulberg is the only guy. And I don't hate Carlos Ulberg, but when you have the option of Pereira for triple champ status or another title defense versus Carlos Ulberg, I think it's pretty obvious what we want. And this would be very interesting because heavyweight is a dog shit, terrible, horrible division. And I think both of these fighters on the screen right now need a win over each other to really elevate their legacy. So if we have Alex Pereira going up and fighting Tom Aspinall at heavyweight for his third belt, my cat stopped the recording several times. Give me a second. She's about to step on the keyboard again. Get out of here. All right. But yeah, if one of these guys beats the other, that is going to take their legacy to a whole nother level. Alex Pereira goes up. He gets his third belt versus Tom Aspinall, who is looking like he could possibly be the most dominant heavyweight ever. That's fucking crazy. He's automatically the greatest fighter of all time. First guy to get wins or title wins in 3 divisions, triple champion. That's unheard of. Never happened. Probably will never happen because I don't think he's going to beat Tom Aspinall. But if he does it, I don't see anyone else in the UFC capable of doing that anytime soon. You know, who knows? A new phenom might come along in a couple years, but I don't think anybody else is capable of doing it. He's the only guy. And for Tom Aspinall, he's an amazing fighter, and he's beat the best heavyweights that there is. After he beats Gane, there's only one legit heavyweight left for him to beat, and that's Jailton Almeida. And then he'll have cleared everybody out. And, you know, a lot of people think that the names on Tom's resume are just terrible. I don't think they're terrible. I think Sergey Pavlovich is a great win. Same with Volkov, same with Blades. Gane will be a great win, but they are not at the level of somebody with, who's going to be one of the greatest fighters of all time. I think Tom really needs a solid win over somebody like Alex Pereira to take his resume from, like a top 30 level of all time to like a top 10. That would be such a massive win for Tom. And the guys he's fighting are decent, but they're not Alex Pereira. Like, this is the problem with heavyweight. It's like a Mighty Mouse situation where Mighty Mouse was the only guy in the division that people really cared about. Or not even cared about, but he was just beating everybody for the longest time. If Tom Aspinall beats Gane and he beats Almeida, there's nobody else. So I say we have him fight Alex Pereira, get that win, because John Jones did run from him, and that is the fight that would have really defined Tom's legacy. So this is the next best option. And in the heavier weight classes, this is really the only, blockbuster kind of fight. Like, in the lower weight classes, we got Ilya Taporia, Islam Makhachev, Volkanovski. These guys can all have huge matchups. Marab, Pantoja, there's a possible double champ fight. This is the only one of these in the, heavier weight classes. And we just need to see this. There was talk for this at UFC 300 before Alex even defended his belt. Now he's defended his belt 3 times, lost it, and then got it back. Tom Aspinall is about to beat basically the last contender. We need this. This has to happen. This is an important fight. Who do I think would win? I would pick Tom Aspinall, and I would pick him by submission easily. I think he's way too big. Pereira's a big guy. He would probably be fighting at like 235, 240 pounds. Tom Aspinall is a legit 255. He could get up to 260. He's muscular. He's faster than Pereira. He's faster. I'm telling you guys right now, he's faster than Alex Pereira. He would have a speed advantage, a strength advantage, a power advantage. and such a huge grappling advantage. If he takes Pereira down one time, it's over. And I think he's a much more explosive wrestler, and he's way stronger than Magomed Ankalaev, who was not able to take Alex Pereira down. I think Tom would really expose all the weaknesses that Pereira could still potentially have in grappling. I think he would take him down, take his back, and choke him out immediately. I don't think it would be close, but Tom Aspinall, when he's striking, his chin, he strikes like this. His chin is up in the air all the time. That, he could get caught with a left hook coming in with his 1-2. Pereira could time that left hook. Pereira could catch him any number of ways. He's a better striker, and he does have a lot of power. I think Tom Aspinall would be able to tank whatever he gets hit with. He's got an underrated chin. Sergey Pavlovich caught him with a huge punch, and it didn't even wobble him. I think Tom Aspinall has a great chin, especially for a heavyweight. I just don't think it's a close fight, but we still need to see it. I think Pereira has earned an opportunity to fight for this third belt. This is a must-have fight. Even if Cyril Gane wins, which God forbid, God forbid, God forbid, don't let that happen. Please. Please. That would suck. But if Gane wins, send Pereira up. I think Pereira knocks out Gane. I mean, we'll see how he looks versus Tom Aspinall, but I think he would beat Gane. Pereira would beat Gane. But we got to see this. This has to happen. I've said all I can say about it. This is a must-have. Now, let's get into the rest of the UFC 320 fighters. Merab beat Corey Sandhagen by decision. It was a great performance for Merab. Good fight. Merab says he wants to fight in December against Peter Yan, the rematch. I say let him do it. If he fights in December, get this, he will break the most title defenses in a year record. That record was broken last year by Alex Pereira. So if we have 2 years in a row where champions are breaking this record, that would be absolutely massive. Merab is awesome. He wants to fight all the time. I think he would beat Peter Yan. I think the perfect time for this would be UFC 323 in December because it's still a long way away. We're in the beginning of October, so it's basically 3 months away. Merab would have enough time to heal up and get back into another training camp. Yan fought a couple weeks ago in, I think it was Abu Dhabi, versus Marcus McGee. He got an easy win. He's on a 3-fight win streak. He deserves the shot. He's really separated himself from that devastating loss against Merab, and I would like to see the rematch. I don't think Yan would win. I think he could do a little bit better. I think Merab really is just the worst possible matchup for him because of the way Peter Yan defends, strikes, and takedowns. Like, he loves that high guard. When Merab blitzes in, throwing his combinations, Peter Yan is going to back up, keep his hands up here. That's going to leave his hips wide open for the takedowns. He was still able to defend 40 of them, but I just think Merab is just on another level right now, and he would win, but I still want to see it. If Merab gets this win, dude, we're talking top 4 all time, top 3 all time. Another win after that, top 2. Merab is on a fucking roll right now. He could arguably be pound for pound number 1. I think he's got a better legacy right now than Ilia Topuria does. We got to see this. Merab can break the title defense record in a year. Let it happen, dude. Just let's let this happen. Schedule this main event. We could get Volkanovski on that card, double championship card, or Pantoja on that card. Same way, that sets up the double champ fight, which could be awesome at the White House card. That would be cinema, dude. Merab beats Yan at 323. Pantoja beats Van at 323. Pantoja moves up. He gets his double champ shot. And if Merab beats Pantoja, that sets him up for a double champ shot, dude. It's just, things could really get crazy with Merab. And I want to see it happen. I'm rooting for him now. I've let all my hate go. I don't hate Merab anymore. I'm over it. So, yeah, that's what I think should happen. Now, for Yuri Prohaska, we need this. This right here. Next Australia pay-per-view main event for the vacant belt. Alex Pereira vacates his belt, goes up to heavyweight. What do? Send Yuri Prohaska in to save the division against Carlos Ulberg, who's just coming off a devastating knockout over Dominic Reyes in round 1 in a main event. I think it might be his first main event. So that is awesome. He got that win. He deserves a title shot. Both of these guys are in a position where they're both basically number 1 contenders. If one of these guys didn't exist, the other would immediately be getting a title shot. My cat is retarded. I don't know what she's doing. But this is a perfect pay-per-view main event. Put some good fights under this. This is awesome. And I feel like this is a guaranteed highlight reel knockout. Now, you guys know who I'm picking. I'm picking Yuri Prochazka. I think he would viciously knock out Carlos Ulberg. I think he would walk through any counter shots that he does get hit by and break Carlos Ulberg over the course of like 3 or 4 rounds. I think he would get a late finish. I think it would look a lot like the Khalil fight. Ulberg would be piecing him up early and win, and Yuri would win late. But this is awesome. It's a highlight reel knockout, guaranteed. Ulberg sleeps Yuri with a counter shot, or Yuri Prochazka knocks him the fuck out. It's a win-win matchup. Yuri gets the belt back, and I'm on cloud 9. Carlos Ulberg gets a devastating knockout, and he will have some real hype as the next possible great 205 champion. And, let's see it. Perfect pay-per-view main event. This is just right there. It's right there. All that needs to happen is Pereira vacates his belt. And I think he will do that. This could be for an interim belt, too, if he doesn't want to vacate his belt. But I think they'll make him. They've been doing that. They don't really want people holding up 2 divisions at the same time anymore. So I understand that. But this needs to be for a belt of some kind. Undisputed or interim. Next fight. Magomed Ankalaev, the big loser of the weekend. This is a good fight. I think this would take place in the, April, the month of, what the fuck am I talking about, dude? I'm going retarded. I went full retard. This would take place next year in April, is what I'm saying, for the pay-per-view card. You guys can see it on the screen. I don't know why I'm saying it. Magomed Ankalaev versus Jamal Hill. Now, I understand this would be a pretty high jump up in rank for Jamal Hill. He has lost 3 fights in a row. I don't think he necessarily deserves a jump up, but at the same time, he is ranked number 6 in the division. I think Magomed is going to drop down to 3. I think Ulberg is probably going to be 1. Yuri is probably going to be 2. Magomed would be right there at 3. And you look at the people below Jamal Hill, I don't think it makes a lot of sense for them to get jump ups in competition, aside from Azamat Murzakanov, who has a scheduled fight. And they both fought pretty recently. I think Jamal fought in June. Damn, it's been a while. Time is flying by. But, he took some damage against Khalil. He's been injured. He's going to need some time off. I think Magomed is going to want to take some time off, too, after that loss. Apparently, he had a broken rib not too long before the fight. So, next year, April, I want to see this. 2 former champions against each other. It's an interesting matchup because Jamal Hill, as shitty as he is at striking, he's got a lot of power. He loves to move forward. He could land a big shot on Ankalaev. He could win, but I don't think he would. He can defend takedowns very well. Jamal Hill's a good counter grappler. Ankalaev's a good counter striker. He could possibly, really show Jamal Hill's defensive weaknesses. I just think it's an interesting fight, and I think it would be fun. I don't see this being a boring point fest. I think Jamal Hill, his back is kind of against the wall right now. Same with Ankalaev. They both really need to prove themselves in their next fight, or else they're going to be miles away from ever getting a title shot. So I think it would be a fun fight. It's a good card. It's a good, fight for a pay-per-view. This would be a good feature fight, even a co-main event. They're both ranked in the top 6. Good fight. I want to see this. And I think it makes sense timeline-wise. Next fight, Corey Sandhagen versus Sean O'Malley. This is the perfect fucking opportunity to do this. I don't think Sean O'Malley really cares when he comes back. He has no qualms with being inactive. Corey's going to need to take some time off. This would make sense in March, April, or May. There's a lot of time in between when you could make this. This is just an amazing card. You could make an amazing fight. You could put this on a fight night card. I would like to see it on a pay-per-view. I think this would be a great feature fight or a co-main event, and we need those kind of fights. This would be a great 5-round fight. Got to be 5 rounds, and it's a fight we've been talking about for such a long time. Sean just lost to Merab. Corey just lost to Merab. Corey has lost to, there's 4 people below him that he's beat and 2 people above him that he's lost to. And the only person above him in the rankings that he hasn't lost to is Sean O'Malley. And you look down in the rankings, the highest person that Corey hasn't fought yet is fucking Ayman Zahabi. Do we really want to see that? Be honest with me. He's fighting Cheeto. He's probably going to lose that one. Even if he wins, do we really want to see Ayman Zahabi versus Corey Sandhagen? I don't think so. This is a much better fight. I was initially saying Sean O'Malley should fight Song Yadong. I think we crossed that off. I think Song Yadong can fight down in the rankings. And this is just an amazing fight. Corey is definitely going to be looking to grapple in this fight. We would be able to see, has O'Malley, improved his takedown defense at all? Because Corey can wrestle very well. And it would be very competitive on the feet. I think O'Malley has a power advantage. I think he's faster. I think it's an amazing fight. Great matchup. And I want to see this next year, March, April, or May. Perfect main card fight for a pay-per-view. If they need a fight night main event, they could do that too. This is a perfect matchup, and it's the perfect time to do it. Next, Khalil Roundtree. He is going to need some time off. So I think this should wait until May or June of next year. Same with Reyes. He got knocked out pretty bad. He's going to need some time off. They both have taken a lot of damage, but this is an interesting matchup. Initially, just thinking about it right now off the top of my head, I would definitely go with Khalil. I think he'd be much faster than Reyes early on, and I think he would be able to knock out Reyes. I think he does hit hard enough to do it. He's fast enough. But I think it's an interesting fight. I think if you put this as a fight night main event, it's a guaranteed knockout for the crowd. Be very fun to watch. It's a sick striking matchup. If anybody's going to wrestle, it's going to be Dominic, but I just don't see that happening. And yeah, it's going to be a fun fight. They're going to be slamming kicks at each other. They're going to be throwing punches to knock each other out the whole time. Khalil is a super fun fighter, and I don't see this going the distance. Do this. Perfect time to do this. They both lost a week apart. They both took a lot of damage. They're going to need time off. They're on the same kind of schedule. And both of these guys have been around for a very long time in the UFC. I know Khalil is only recently getting, to the high, rankings, but he's been in the UFC for a while. They've never fought each other. I don't think they've been booked against each other. So I think this is perfect. This is a great fight, and let's see it. Next fight, Youssef Zalal versus Gene Silva. Now, maybe not, now that I'm thinking about it. But why fucking not, dude? I think Youssef Zalal deserves a big fight, but I don't know if I want to see him fight somebody in the top 5 after fighting Josh Emmett, who was like number 9 or 10. I don't know if I want to see that yet. Josh Emmett is good, but he's getting old, dude. He's kind of washed, and it was an impressive performance, but even though Gene Silva is ranked lower than Youssef Zalal, we know he's much better than anybody that Zalal has ever fought. This would be an incredibly tough test because he showed that, in his last fight with Lopez, he could get taken down. He could be put in the worst positions. He could have Diego Lopez mounting him, and he can get out of those positions, not get finished. So I would say the possibility of Zalal submitting him is almost zero. Zalal is not going to knock him out, and Gene Silva has a huge power advantage in this fight. But Zalal is a really good striker. He's long and rangy. He's got good footwork. He could frustrate Gene Silva with his range and his speed. I think this is a fascinating matchup, and I really do want to see it. This would be perfect for January of next year. I know Gene Silva says he wants to fight in December. I would slow your roll a little bit, buddy. You did take a lot of damage. Take some time off. Improve your skills a little bit. Youssef Zalal can do the same thing. It's not super close, but it's not super far. Decently quick turnaround for both guys, and they're pretty close in the rankings. And whoever wins this fight can go right on to a big fight. And if Gene Silva wins, that's what the UFC is going to want. They can push him right back into a big fight with somebody like Arnold Allen, Aljamain Sterling, Movsar Evloev. If they want to do that, they could do that if he wins. Same thing with Yusuf Zalal. Whoever wins this is a bright prospect with a great future that is close to title contention. And I think this is a big opportunity for both guys. So I want to see this. I really do want to see this. And for Yusuf Zalal, we can compare his performance to Diego Lopez, who's another top contender. It's not like this is two prospects fighting each other who haven't fought the best competition. We've seen Gene Silva fight Diego Lopez, who might be the best fighter in the division besides Volkanovski, and we saw he lost that fight. He was not good enough to beat Diego Lopez. Although I think he was doing very well in that second round, I think if he would have not fought with his emotions, he would have been able to knock out Diego Lopez. It was looking like he was on track to do that. He lost. He showed some flaws in his game in that fight. And we can compare Yusuf Zalal's performance to somebody like Lopez. So I think this is a good fight. Next fight, Big Joe Pyfer. This, I'm a fucking genius. If you're still watching right now, if you're looking at this, I want you to put in the comments, NC is a fucking genius, because we got the hardest hitter in the division, Big Joe Pyfer, versus Marvin Vettori. Now, what do I think happens in this matchup? I think Joe Pyfer turns the body cam off, and I think he knocks out Marvin Vettori. I think it's Marvin Vettori's chin. The time is ticking. One of these days, he's going to get knocked the fuck out. I think Joe Pyfer is the guy to do it. And this is a way to get Joe Pyfer in the rankings sneakily, because if a lot of people probably don't think Marvin Vettori is ranked anymore, and then when the fight happens, they're going to be like, what the fuck? He's number 13 in the rankings. And Joe Pyfer wins. Boom, he's in the top 15. And he's on what, like a 3-fight win streak, separates himself from that, terrible, terrible performance against Jack Hermanson, which wasn't even that bad, by the way. A lot of people think it was terrible. Wasn't that bad. He, won 2 rounds. Close fight. But I think Joe Pyfer would knock Marvin Vettori out. Marvin Vettori is just fucking terrible at fighting, dude. I'm sorry. He relies on his chin to get him through fights. And his 1-2, he throws a 1-2 and a 2-1. Sometimes he'll throw a head kick. And, occasionally he'll throw a lead hook. That's about it. And I think Joe Pyfer is just better. I think he hits much harder. I think he would knock out Vettori. And this would be, a great science experiment. Can the Iron Chin hold up to the power of Salty Pyfer? So that's what I want to see. Last fight, Gatebe Gaudier versus Nursultan Ruziboev. I think this is a real test. It's not too much of a jump up. I've seen people saying he should fight, Edmund Shabazian. I think it's a little bit too quick, because he's had 3 fights in the UFC. They've been against bumps. Edmund Shabazian has been in the UFC for a while. He has a lot of fights. He's fought top competition and lost, but he's also fought decent fighters like Muniz. Who else has he fought? I don't know. You get my point, though. Edmund has been tested in the UFC. We know he's a good fighter. Not quite top 15 level, but he's good. And I think Nursultan Ruziboev is a little bit more approachable for Gaudier, and I just think this is a good fight. I think Gatebe would knock him out. Nursultan Ruziboev, in his fight with Dustin Stoltzfus, he didn't look the best, but we know he's a good fighter. He knocked out Bruno Ferreira, who's very impressive. Ruziboev, he hits hard. He's got decent grappling. He's a good test. He's a capable UFC fighter, unlike the people that Gatebe's been fighting. So I think this is a good, approachable jump up in competition. Oh, there's one more fight that I forgot to mention. Patchy Mix. Get out. We're good. You can go. You can leave. PFL's right there, calling your name. PFL is calling your name, Patchy Mix. Answer. We don't want you here. I don't ever want to see Patchy Mix in a UFC octagon again in my life. I just wanted to mention that. So I think this is the perfect next fight for Patchy Mix. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think of the matchups, and goodbye.